There it is. Congratulations to the Los Angeles Dodgers. They have done it. As I predicted, the Dodgers in six. I just knew it. This roster was just way too. They had too much talent, too much poise, and too much experience going into this series to allow another World Series to slip through their fingers. Adding on the second best player in Major League Baseball in Mookie Betts, as he showed with his RBI double and his home run to basically seal the deal. I, I mean, we knew it. The Los Angeles Dodgers are world champions. Fans in Los Angeles can now celebrate the Lakers and the Dodgers uh, all in the same year. It's been incredible, and congratulations to the Dodgers once again.
You know what? It was a great series. It was some of the best baseball I've seen. And, hats off to the Dodgers. They had a great series. It's about time all this money paid off. So, enjoy it while it lasts. You have approximately 5-6 months until you have to get back to work and prove yourself once again. And the Yankees at that point will be ready to go. So enjoy it while it lasts, Dodgers fans. Enjoy it while it lasts. It's your first World Series since 1988. It's going to be about another 22 years or so until you get yours, 32 years until you get yours. But nonetheless, it was a great series. I think we just have to answer the question: what happened to the Rays in Game 6? I mean, it was a strong start. Arozarena hit that homer in the first. They looked good, and then Blake Snell was playing amazing, absolutely amazing. And then they pulled him in the sixth, with one out. Man.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the question everybody's asking is like, what the hell are they doing in Tampa pulling Blake Snell? He gave up 2 hits. And I understand that the mantra with the Rays, and as you mentioned on the podcast, is that the Tampa Bay Rays don't go through the lineup with their pitchers. They want to consistently change it up so you can't get a feel for what they're doing. But Blake Snell was absolutely on fire tonight, and there was no reason for him to be pulled. I mean, when you look at this, he gave up a hit to and it was a leadoff single, and that's it. And then they pulled him. He had already gotten through the heart of the order. This was the back end of the order, 6, 7, 8, and then 9. I mean, they were in a great spot, and if you just allowed him to have some longevity, some rhythm, he would have been able to probably close this out because of how good his stuff was. I mean, he was literally painting corners with 95, 96 mile an hour fastballs, and then able to just he placed any pitch wherever he wanted, and he was making hitters look silly all night. All of a sudden, as soon as he got yanked, guess what? Another hit comes in, and it's all over. Everybody, it's just one of those things where certain decisions will make or break a game, and obviously this game is the season for the Rays. But I can't. I have to fault the Tampa Bay Rays management here for pulling Blake Snell. I understand that they're not. They want to, they don't want to have their guy go through the lineup once again. But he was so good. He was so good. I can't appreciate what he was able to do, how he stymied this Dodgers lineup, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they're like, "Okay, yeah, you're done."
Well, I don't even
like
think
they didn't want to win.
I don't even think that it's fully the pulling of Blake Snell. I don't think that's the end of the story. I think it also is with bringing Ryan Anderson in, a guy who has struggled against the Dodgers, who hasn't had a great postseason. Why is he the guy to come in for Blake Snell and not somebody who has done a better job against the Dodgers, especially when you have Mookie batting lefty right there coming up next? Like, you at least leave your left-handed pitcher in for the left-handed batter. Like, don't make it that easy, especially when you have a guy like Ryan Anderson who is just throwing mediocre fastballs right down the plate. He's leaving it out there for them to score runs, and that's the other part of the pulling of Blake Snell that has really hurt them. They just didn't go to the right guy. They didn't have a good idea of who was going to bode well for them in this situation. You were having such great success with a lefty pitcher, and then you take him out for a righty, and then you give up the runs. Even when Fairbanks came in, they were doing better. He wasn't great, but he was better, much better than Ryan Anderson. And I guarantee if they went to Fairbanks first, they probably wouldn't have given up 2 runs, and they wouldn't have been in that bad situation.
Fairbanks did give up the solo shot to Mookie Betts. I mean, nonetheless, what we saw from the Rays leading up to this point, that they played a certain brand of baseball, and to their credit, they stuck with that brand of baseball. Ultimately, that is what's to blame. So, can you blame the decision to pull him? Yes, but that is what they do. So if they didn't pull him and then he started to give up more runs, or or give up runs in general, then do we say that's not what they do? That, I mean,
what is their identity? Because for the most part, it has been risk it for the biscuit. That's what they have done. That's how they've gotten to this point. They have risked it.
Saved their pitchers, so they only go.
Why bring in a brand new pitcher? Why bring in a brand new pitcher when you know what you're getting with this guy? Blake Snell was crushing them.
No, I understand that, but what I'm saying is, if that was the start of the decline for his performance, if he was going to start giving up hits,
there was no opportunity given to show a decline. You didn't say, "Oh, let's."
If that happens, then we're sitting here saying, "Okay, well, they should have pulled him because their identity is to pull the pitcher 1 to 2 times through the lineup. He couldn't get it done through the 3rd time of the lineup, and this is where they ended up." So they were damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. The only way it works out is if they leave Blake Snell in and he continues to pitch miraculously. Other than that, I don't see a scenario in which the Rays come out looking pretty on this one.
No, it was just after the pulling of Blake Snell, it's like the momentum did a 180, and the souls of the Rays completely left their body.
Well, you could see it. It felt like the Dodgers players just gained a little more bounce in their step. It felt like they had a little more
because
pop in
they got more hope because now they got to face somebody brand new, and they saw who was coming out, and they knew they would have success against him. He's a guy they have figured out, and a guy they've taken advantage of throughout this series, and other teams as well throughout the postseason. So I don't know why you're gonna go rely on a guy like that when you have so many better options. Like, you have to put in whoever. It doesn't matter what they are, what kind of pitcher they are, or where they should be, or if you're trying to save them for tomorrow. There is no tomorrow if you don't win today. So just play them. Play whoever you can, and that's going to give you the best shot at winning. They failed. They just failed.
They did, but I'll give them credit where credit is due. As we have said multiple times, this is a team that A, wasn't expected to be in this position. B, wasn't expected to do anything with this position. And they showed up, they balled out, and they were the team that pushed the Los Angeles Dodgers. We're talking about the team with the lowest payroll versus the team with the highest payroll.
And I get that. But the Rays had more.
Game 6.
The Rays had more opportunities than they should have to come out on top in this game and in this series. And they blew a few of those big opportunities, and it cost them. It absolutely cost them. And the nail in the coffin was the pulling of Blake Snell. And
it absolutely was. I'm not arguing that.
The players just worked so hard to get there, and yeah, they worked their butts off, and it was because of a managerial decision that they not only lost this game but lost the World Series. It's just it's heartbreaking for those players.
The entire World Series, because again they were already down 3-2.
But you can't worry about the past in that situation. You got to just focus on what's in front of you. And you should have known in that situation, you're probably not going to go get a guy who's pitching as well as Blake Snell is right now. So let's stick with him until he's showing a true decline. And at that point, let's bring in somebody who we know is going to thrive against the opponents he has in front of him. And then when
Again,
he hits a decline or we think he needs to be pulled, we'll change him out.
Again, I agree with you. I'm not arguing with you. What I'm saying is that there were so many factors outside of this that this wasn't the one lone decision that cost them an entire World Series. It cost them the most
I mean,
important game of the World Series.
I don't know what else.
But if this happens in game 1 or game 2, you're not saying it cost them the World Series. That's what I'm saying.
This was the biggest decision. I don't really care about what happened in the past. You had an opportunity to secure what was right there, and you failed to. Because if Blake Snell was still in, and they had gotten out of that inning, and they had gone to somebody reliable, and they had come out on top, we wouldn't be talking right now.
Who do you want them to bring in? I mean,
I'd rather bring in Fairbanks. Yeah, he gave up the home run, but I think he would have had a better shot the first time. I think that when you're putting a pitcher in a deficit role like that, where he has to pitch extremely well, that's a lot of pressure on him. And I think if he had that 1-0 lead, he would have been fine. He could have gotten the guy on second out. They could have moved on. I think Fairbanks could have gotten that last out, and it took Ryan Anderson 3 batters until he was pulled. It's just a bad decision.
No matter how you slice and dice it, the Rays were in a position where they you know what, they play a specific brand of baseball, and for better or for worse, they stuck to it. I can only give them enough credit for doing that. Even though it cost them, there's definitely a lot to be looked into for how the Rays played this new version of baseball. They don't rely on your typical starters. They have openers. They don't rely on one pitcher to get them 7. They rely on 7 pitchers to get them through the game. Overall, I think it's an interesting concept. I don't know if it's sustainable, but I think a lot of teams are going to take a look at their Moneyball tactics that they showed, and I don't know. I don't know if I expect the Rays to be back in this position. Honestly,
no. I mean, I don't, because Moneyball works to an extent. Because we still have the Dodgers, the most expensive team in baseball, coming out on top, winning it all. So at the end of the day, money wins. Paying your players, paying the best, and getting the best talent in your organization is going to win you the ring, the championship.
No, I agree.
You can go on these long streaks like the Athletics did or the Rays did. And you're gonna hit a wall at some point because your team is only so good. Their passion and their drive can only get them so far. Talent will bring you the rest of the way, and that's what they were lacking. Well, they could possibly get better.
The most talented roster in baseball, it lies in Los Angeles with the Dodgers.
Oh, no doubt. And they clearly paid enough for it. It's absolutely outrageous, and that's going to be something we're going to have to talk about. The relaxed salary caps with the MLB and whether they should fix that or not. Because
I mean, I've never been a big proponent of the luxury tax and the ability to go over the salary cap, but we can discuss that another time. I want to use this time to definitely, like I said a million times already, congratulate the Los Angeles Dodgers. I want to congratulate the Tampa Bay Rays for getting to this point, for showing people that we learned who, Azarena are, and Brandon Lau are. Like, we learned who some of these players are that nobody ever knew before. These guys showed up, they showed out, and even though they didn't get it done, they've definitely made names for themselves. And, I look for them to continue on their success. I think you told me a stat earlier while we were watching the game and said, Azarena had 8 home runs in the regular season, but 10 in the postseason.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
And he's a
something,
rookie. He's a rookie. Like that's
right?
absolutely incredible. Like this guy is going to be special in the
I
MLB.
think they need to nickname him the Cuban Missile Crisis. um, Guys just hitting piss missiles left and right. But nonetheless, congratulations to the Los Angeles Dodgers. They had one hell of a season, albeit a shortened season. Nothing was
Yeah. Let's put an asterisk next to their World Series win. How about that?
no, or I mean no. The Yankees were in it and lost in the playoffs, which was normal playoffs. I don't want to hear it from you. But I appreciate you guys taking the time to listen to us. Let us know what you thought of this series. Let us know what you thought of Game 6, specifically the pulling of Blake Snell, and whether you agreed with it at the time or not. Obviously, hindsight is 2020, and we can only move on from there. But thank you all for listening. Make sure to hit the subscribe button. Hit the notification bell. Get notifications every single time we go live. And let us know either in the comments or on social media. Check us out on social media. What you're most looking forward to in the MLB offseason. That'll do it for us. Have a great rest of your day, night, weekend, whatever time you're watching this, and we'll catch you later.